Don't know lah. Where are we? Very funny today. Yeah. So we came to the wrong place today.
Or you go to a new office already.
Maybe. Hey. Yeah, how are you? Very good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, very good afternoon. Today we are short of mic somehow. I don't know what happened, because we only have one mic.
Yeah.
So I hope you can hear us. Very good afternoon, everyone. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in again. And then today we are going to talk again on some of the technology that we have been sharing for the past. Today I think it's going to be our 59. We are on the 59. Yeah, it's episode 59. Yeah, so we are on a 59. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, today is very special. I think last week you heard about we saying about the AMR, AMR, autonomous mobile robot. This AMR autonomous mobile robot, I think, is not by coincidence, So we have been talking about that some time back. And then I think along the way, when we talk about the AI object detection to MES system in the manufacturing, especially, yeah. So on this AMR, the application of AMR, that is there are a lot of audience was waiting for that. Yeah, that is the thing that we are. So today is very special thing. For some reason we fall down into some places, very funny place. So we are going to have a very special Sembang today.
Hey, Sisi and Kelong. So apa ni? Sembang apa ni?
Doctor, how come you are here?
You come to my place sembang without me. So today is sembang bukan sembarang sembang.
Kita sembang teknologi.
Kita sembang AIoT.
Hello.
Yeah, it's very funny thing today. Maybe doctor, you can pull a chair. So we are very fortunate to have Dr. Noazmi. Yeah, so he is one of the AMR educational kit creator. Yeah. So today we are going to have a big talk with him. Yeah, we are going to have a big talk with him, as well as we are going to have Mr.
Fadullah.
Yeah, Fadullah, maybe you can come forward to say hi. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Fadullah.
Yeah, Fadullah will join us a little bit later. So today, I think, it's also a very special occasion here. We are at Meranti. Where is this place?
So thank you for this session, Sisi, and also Kelong. Basically, this place is called Meranti Resource Center.
Meranti
right
Resource
in
Center.
Bukit Jalil. It used to be called Technology Park Malaysia. And we are here, co-located with Meranti here to promote robotics, in the Technology Park Malaysia.
Wow, robotics.
So this is our Scuttle Robotics Lab at Meranti Resource Center.
Yeah, along the way when I was walking around, I saw there's one robotic passing by. Is that something that they really got a robot?
There's also a project, there are also, we have a few robotics company here. We have a Hello World Robotics here.
Okay.
Doing the delivery robots, kind of a project. They are based, they have a place downstairs, doing some trial. And we also have another company called ProStrand Engineering doing robotics for multiple application actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have quite a few robotics company.
You have a very nice place. So for those of you, just now we are saying, where are we falling into this area? Actually, we came to this Dr. Noazmi office at the Meranti at the Technology Park. And then Technology Park has been very long time. I know.
Right.
I think maybe 30 years ago.
I believe so.
I was once here to look at some incubator center when they've been the first launch.
Right.
Well, a very long time ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago. So today, of course, we are not going to talk about anything at all, more onto the autonomous mobile robot, because I think about 2 years ago when I was first met Dr. Noazmi, we were in the one of the Intel summit,
right?
One of the shows in Penang. Yeah,
correct.
So that was a time that we showcased some of our Axiomtek board, sitting onto the one of the prototyping
Right.
AMR.
That you were working on it.
That
Correct.
that
Yeah,
was
the
time.
first time that we met.
So do you still remember about that?
That one. No,
Actually,
because
you put a big rock, peak of the
You were there.
computer actually.
I was there. But I met Dr. Rasmi, I think 4 or
Much-
5 years ago.
longer.
Yeah,
Ah,
much longer, much longer.
That time at KLCC.
Correct. Yeah. We have some project together before.
You are a very famous person. So I've been hearing your name, since maybe 10 years ago. Okay.
Thank you.
So side of joking, but then today I think we are coming to a very serious topic today. As far as AMR has been growing, like the market is still growing. Yeah, AMRs have a big growth. In fact, I've just seen a report under the GDR. They are going to have about yearly 25% kind of the expansion.
Right. Numbers is kind of a tremendous. I mean, the last year, numbers in terms of market size is running about 25 billion, US dollar. I think they're predicting in the next 5 years another 20 plus billion, so go about 40-50 billion kind of a market. I think that's a growing market.
Yeah.
Right.
So of course today we are not going to show you some very very sophisticated robot that can pull things, move things. We are not going to talk about that, because from the beginning until now we are trying to bring out how, instead of you see, when you look at the robots, my Taiwan colleague always say, there are many of them able to bring this one, do funny,
Right.
he can dance also.
Right.
But then, how are you going to make this happen, for some of the youngsters or some of the fresh graduate or some of the technology enthusiasts, those with the high enthusiasm in this
Right.
technology, how you can do it? Yeah, today you can hear more from us, especially
Sure.
from Dr. Rasmus.
Yeah.
So we want to start up with the very first question. What the heck, you what are the things that inspire you to start up
maybe
this?
the question: how do I get into this space that are kind of alien to me initially? Right?
Yeah.
I think it's all started, because I know this, gentleman from Intel, Dr. Thomas Uy, right, for many years. And then, one good breakfast, morning, we were sitting in the same, kind of a coffee place for breakfast.
Really?
And he texted me, hey, what are you doing here? So, then he probably said, by the way, do you know anybody has a mobile robot? I said, okay, you're looking at it. I think at that time they didn't know that I was working on this mobile robot, just Scuttle, and we're going to talk more about that later on. So we want to see how we can introduce more of AMR, technology to the academics, to the student, to the researcher in the university. So that's how we get started actually. So and at that time we, as a Scuttle, we don't have yet a so-called autonomous mobile robot. With the platform like ROS or ROS2, whatever, or with Intel. We were just working on a basic, product using open source, computers like Raspberry Pi or whatnot. Right? But the whole of this, how to get, it's coming from people like Intel and also many other companies, in the same realm, to say how do you get more people to get into autonomous mobile robots? So how do you get accelerate this learning? How do you accelerate the development? Because the market is growing, and you need more people to to be able to, I guess, develop and program this robot, right? And understanding how to do so. And I think with our collaboration with Intel in this case, we'll talk more about that later on. Is to spur more interest in robotics. And to make the learning simpler, easier, right, through the open source platform, with Intel computer, I think, this happened to be, in this case, Intel computer on, Axiomtek kind of a board. I mean, that's kind of a bonus for today, right? So we have, both myself, and this Dr. Thomas, say, let's see how we can collaborate with Axiomtek at that time. And I think we have, been having a good partnership over the last couple of years. And we want to continue to do more. And essentially, to get more people to learn about robotics, to learn about, AMR, right? And not just learn, but also build solution, based on what they have learned, from the platform that we are creating, right? That we have created together with Intel, and Axiomtek involvement as well.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Okay, that was that was great. So that means this our meeting here is also not by accident. So is this a life path? We are coming to meet together here.
Yeah.
Is somehow
Yeah.
is somehow we are destined here.
I would say you always need to plan, right?
Yeah.
But you never know when the plan can get executed. We always have plan with our my co-founder, David Melloway from Texas. He's basically when I first saw him, he said, I want to get more people to use this robot. He was from Texas. He was in Malaysia. So I said, what do you want to do with this? He said, okay, can we get more people to use this? And we always, and interestingly, during COVID, there's an issue with the supply of a Raspberry Pi, actually. So because of that problem, you know what we did? We said, let's open up to all companies that has different kind of a single board computer or processor that can integrate with our base Scuttle.
Yeah.
And Intel opportunity came just because we opened up our doors. We said, we are ready to work with anybody who wants to collaborate with us. And it's just that, right? But you have to have a plan, right? Yeah. So, and I think, divine intervention. So, we have this, collaboration, and platform, AMR based on Scuttle and Intel.
I see.
It's kind of
a
interesting story to tell. I would say from my perspective.
That was about how many years ago already?
2-3 years ago, actually. 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think COVID or this pandemic has changed many people's life.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
So it's in the very, very, very different aspect. Plus, we and myself and Kenon is always talking about AI. AI is another thing that has changed tremendously in terms of people's life right now.
Correct.
So things has been good. But I always think that you see, technology is moving so fast. Yeah. So, but why are we still working on this kind of a small, very little thing and so on? Because industrial doesn't, follow the pace of a very fast-moving kind of a technology thing. Industrial always we look for stability.
Right.
We always look for in terms of I think stability is one of them, reliability and so on.
Right.
So it has to go through some kind of learning curve or some kind of phases. Right. That's where you are here, I think. When you create awareness to some of the youngsters, in order to you see, using robot is very fast. You just pay money and
Correct.
You get it. Yeah. So, but here is different thing. We are not talking about giving money and then get things done. We are more dirty people, want to touch here and there, not dirty in that sense. So we like to play with this thing. But I think the fundamental of learning all these things is very important here, I think, for most of the people who wanted to go into that part. Yeah. So maybe the other question is, what about the whole development process from a very raw thing coming to this some of the kids that I'm seeing.
Right.
How does this goes until now?
So as I mentioned earlier, we started with this, kind of a very simple robot here.
Maybe I should just
and we just came from the group in Texas, so maybe we just stand up and make it easier explanation.
Okay.
And later I'll have Abdullah, do the detailed explanation.
Yeah, we can
and
stand,
this is how it started, from my so-called co-founder in Texas A&M. So a simple a DIY, we call them, the 3D printed parts and all this, parts that can buy, off the shelf, and it's kind of an affordable platform that we can learn, right? So that's how we got started. But it's using a Raspberry Pi.
Interesting.
So from that, how we go from this to what you see another, kit here, which is called the AMR kit, that we also, co-developed with Intel using the so-called Axiomtek, a 𝐉𝐵55R board actually. And for that discussion, explanation, I'll bring in Fadullah to explain because he's more technical than me. I'm more like a marketing sales guy here, right? So Fadullah, maybe you can,
Hello, I'm Fadullah. So I'm basically the engineer for Scuttle Robotics. I handle all the way from the development of this first basic scuttle until the AMR scuttle. So when Mr. Thomas and Axiomtek approached us, we already have our basic scuttle, but we don't have the necessary tools to make it AMR. Like we don't have the sensor and the capacity. So what we did is we took our existing frame and then we evolve it into AMR ready. What we did is actually, let me move this forward. So the requirement for AMR is they want a LiDAR and a 3D camera. But to run this, you cannot just run on Raspberry Pi. It's just not enough power. So you either need a really high-end computer, such as what we have here is Intel Axiomtek, 𝐉𝐵55R. So from here, definitely when you have a computer, you need to change all the battery, the power supply, and the frame itself. So from here, we change the frame, we add more larger batteries in order to support the new computer. And then from there, then we can only run the LiDAR and the camera to make it AMR ready. Right? So you can see that from our development here, starting from the base scuttle, it can easily be upgraded, change its form, put more batteries, put more sensors, change the motor, but it still looks scuttle.
And we do have a surprise later on at the end because you may think that we can only do this size. Actually, we have a surprise that we can make a bigger robot, higher payload. By the way, this one can carry about 40 kilo payload, which is good enough for a small kid. Or even the delivery robot that goes into delivering food in a restaurant. It's about 40 kilo payload, right? So this basic kit already can do that, right? And the same technology in terms of the motorized wheel, the frame, and whatnot is very similar. But then how do you make it more autonomous? How do you make it more, intelligent with the, real sense camera, depth camera, and the so-called the AI machine learning component. And the beauty of this platform is you also can take the components of the scuttle robot and put into a bigger frame or for higher payload, for example. I mean, that's the beauty of what we call open source design that we are carrying from Scuttle actually. Yeah.
So that's why that also comes with this main board.
Okay.
No, we just want to share one part. Actually, this is a brother of the whole board here. The big brother. I think Dr. Nosby, he has seen it before. One of our AMR that is running on the 12th gen.
Give me some space.
12th gen controllers, AMR controllers. I think we spoke about that before. Yeah, we spoke about that before.
Oh yeah.
So
I remember this.
Yeah, this guy is like. It's an AMR controller.
Yeah,
it's one of the AMR controller. I think if you are able to put this one on the board, so you can put this one on this one. Anytime.
Right. Yeah.
So this one is going to be IP rated, with the IP 50 something.
Yeah.
So it comes with more features.
Yeah.
In fact, let's say you have this real time camera.
Yeah.
This guy can support GMSL camera. Can go 6 meters away on high speed.
Right.
With the high speed. Yeah. And it comes with some general purpose.
And what I like about this because it has all these industrial connectors that you can make sure because you put it on the field right?
Correct. These are all the M12 rated connector where it can stand good vibration, especially it can be certified onto the transport platform.
Yep.
So when you want to make this one, I think you may be looking at this area, for example. That's why today our topic also fast track, transition. How can you transform?
So it's interesting because when we had this idea in terms of having this
Maybe you want to
platform. So
talk
when we
to-
have this
to talk to
platform,
audience.
platform, that developed by my co-founder 𝐉𝐻𝐼𝐲𝐝 in the US, is the whole idea to have a kit that you can actually scale to industrial product, right? I mean, of course, it's all like open source, platform, and then 3D printable. But the design itself can be reused, can be upgraded, right? And I think, look in terms of the using of development mode like Kappa 55R to move into more the IPC kind of computer, it's about how you actually do your so-called your coding, your program, your robot first. Once you have that settled with something more affordable in the platform stage, in the development stage, right? Once you get that almost ready to be tested, then you can put it out to a more industrial kind of a PC, right? So you don't waste your money upfront in terms of I need to try this and try that. So it can actually allow you to spend less money but get your a prototype ready first. But once you want to scale, then you go into something more industry ready kind of so-called component. Yeah.
So, yeah, that leads me to another question that maybe Kian Leong would like to
Okay.
ask, Doctor.
Okay, so the third question is, how has this kit been received by the educational institution?
Okay. Very good question. So when we first started,
Before that,
yeah, okay.
You see, the education, because we talk about awareness, we talk about how can you make those things,
Yeah.
rather than you watch them, you pay money, you can have that. That is not something that we are actually promoting. So
Yeah.
your answer.
So again, when I met 𝐉𝐻𝐼𝐲𝐝, in June around that, in 2020 during when the lift off the MCO, right? And the exact word from him, I want to get more people to use Scuttle robot, right? I mean, because he was started in the only one university in the US, the Texas A&M, for mechatronic program. But having it here, and I'm seeing the opportunity to get more people able to learn robotics with this so-called open source, platform, right? So without this so-called, the program that we launched last year, I will talk more about that later on. We start to invest in our first intern, right? So that's how I get first intern, which is Fadullah. And as we do that, then we said, okay, let's get more people to be aware about what we're doing. So we were, collaborating with the some universities. We were back in Johor, for the first 3 years of our journey. So we collaborate with the likes of UTM, student for internship fund a year project. We collaborate with, Raffles University, actually, which is next to us, in Medini. We're also collaborating with, the likes of Southampton University in Johor. So we have all this university collaboration to promote what we're doing, so that because nobody knows us, in 2020, 2021, right? So we have to promote ourselves and do that. And as we got to know Intel, because they want to say, how we can promote, the platform AMR using Scuttle as a base, the university, then we get a bit of a break, I would call them, right? In terms of, now you can get more universities to be, collaborating. So they have like 5 universities, USM, UPM, Utah, UTP into a program called RoboFund last year. And so let's add 5 more universities to what we have initially, 3 or 4 of them. And all of a sudden, Moranti, found out about us and said, hey, you want to do a program on robotics? So I said, okay, great. So immediately last year, we got about 13 different universities, to know about us, and also, get to hold, basically get hold of our, the Scuttle AMR kit, because of the program that we, put together, between Intel, Moranti, Katapu, which is the base company that drives Scuttle in Malaysia, and also MPC, how to get more people to learn about this AMR platform and to build solution to solve real-world industry problems. Because if you look at the National Robotic Roadmap, for example, that was launched about 2-3 years ago, there is a need to actually create more robotic solution adoption in the country. We are probably way behind Singapore, way behind even Thailand in terms of the number of robots per 10,000 employees in Malaysia. So one of the 2 areas that was pointed out in the National Robotic Roadmap is to get more talent to be trained on robotics, to create more innovative solution. So we say, okay, in order to do that, let's do a competition-based program. We call RoboFund Roboton. So we piloted that last year, and then we get probably around 250 people trained on AMR. And at the end, of the training, we get about 35 team submission, right? from the 13 different universities, actually. We actually got, half of that, about 16 went into the semi-final to showcase. I think, it was, done last year at the Diamond Mall, one of our, industry partner. And from the 16, we actually got 3 projects that are running, towards the MVP, closer to product in the market. We got one project from University of Malaya called, RoboCount, doing the inventory tracking using the Intel AMR solution. To track in terms of the inventory inside the warehouse, right? So they're working with a logistic company. They're doing warehousing. Secondly, we got a project from USIM, University of Science in South Malaysia, which is in Inilai. So they're building this. I think that's the first robot in Malaysia that does to help you doing shopping without having to figure out which aisle to find your your product, right? So you enter into the robot in terms of what you want to purchase, and it has a map, what's in the supermarket. It will take you, especially men like us. We don't like to go around looking for stuff, right? And to make shopping easier, right? Maybe for ladies they don't like that, but for men we want to go to the shop, get things done and out, right? So that's it's good for people like. But interestingly, they got some interesting opportunity where I'm not sure you know this or not. In supermarket, in airport, in places where they use a lot of trolley, their trolley got lost. Or lost or broken or damaged, and it's quite a lot of money every year to replace them. So by having an autonomous trolley, you can track where they are, and maybe even get them to come back to the so-called
the trolley automatic go back
yeah,
to it.
exactly. So that's kind of the idea, and then they got a track one of the airport actually to work on that kind of prototype that they have developed, right? So that's interesting. And thirdly, we have this, Southampton University in Johor, built, for when people get into this, I guess, stroke and from injuries, sometimes they get very demotivated, and they don't like human to help them to move because they feel like, why you want to help me to walk? I can do it myself, right? So the idea is to use mechanized system or automated system, rehab robot to help you to back to your normal, right? Helping you to walk, right? So they have this called, medical walkmate, using a robotic solution, from what we have all trained them, and they are going to a trial soon, right? So and both of this team are going to the USIM team and Southampton team are going to this LaunchX, accelerator program, and they're going to be demoing it in June, in August. So 26 August, it'll be somewhere LaunchX program. So I'm excited because you could do this within 1 year, right? Some of this team that you see have not done robotics before in their life, right? They are like year 2 students. They came for the training for 1 week here at Meranti with us and also with Intel guys. And a year from that, now they have something that they need to, they're building for a company, right? They're building something for the airport to actually test it in the airport environment. I mean, I don't think you can do that, right? With this is young guys, and so we think we have demonstrated that, with the so-called the open platform that we have here, with Scuttle and also with the computer from Intel, the support from Intel, we can actually accelerate the learning and also prototyping, right? It has been a great I guess reception or acceptance by the local universities, both private and public, and foreign universities. And in fact, we are doing something now with APU here, Asia Pacific University, which is next door to us. I'm starting to also use the word investing in some of the other universities like UiTM and also like UniKL to see how they can actually create their own robotics program by giving them some early I saw the starting kit for them to get their program started. So it's kind of a way of investing into the academics, into the talent, so we can actually now accelerate some of the development for the different industry. Yeah. So yeah, how can I answer your question in a very global way?
very much. That was a very great explanation, and also telling us of some of the application, especially. So, by the way, you are watching Let's Sembang AIoT. Me and 𝐷𝐿𝐻𝐚𝐲, and together with Dr. Nazmi, the robotic team, because all this while we were talking about AI, we were talking about IoT. In fact, you're talking about smart inventory. We were talking about smart inventory also That was the point that we want to relate back to the some of the AMR. That's why we are also here.
Exactly.
What have we talked about in the last session? We talked about smart inventory also involving drone. Okay, we involved some drone, and also
we talk about the RFID.
RFID. That was a time that we used. We were talking to our audience about using the petrol, the RFID transceiver along to capture data.
Right.
Other than using AI, of course. Yeah. So RFID and AI, they may come together. You have a very solid, valid transaction.
Yep.
Usually, sometimes RFID you are still not so sure. Yeah. With this thing, with this vision AI plus this RFID plus the AMR carrying this one along.
Yeah.
That can be.
No, actually, just as I mentioned earlier, because my background is not in electronics, right? I'm basically trained as a chemical engineer to tell you the truth. But I've been working with the electronic company, ever since I graduated. I worked in Motorola, semiconductors and whatnot. But I see the opportunity in robotics and AI and machine learning, and now with the ChatGPT, with the large language model. We can see now how do you create more, closer to human kind of a solution, right? Think like human, vision like human, right? And then you put all this together to see how you can actually ease the work of human, right? And so I think there's a lot more opportunity. Talk about inventory management. I mean, there's a lot of things to be done there. And yesterday there's a company called Temi. They say, hey, can you put an arm on the Temi, and then now we can have to do more things, for a robot that's already about a meter high, and then have a 2-arm. And imagine what you can do with this, right? Helping you at home, helping you in the office, and imagine we can have a lot more of this robot out in the field, because we have a shortage of people that are not interested to work in the field because it's too hot, right? It's too humid in Malaysia, right? So we can get this robot to work in the plantation. I know we got some friends in Samdabi are working on this, but we need more than just Samdabi working on this. We need to get more people to do this, right? It's a lot more opportunity. I mean,
so I'm sure these opportunities and exposure, people get to know. See, some of them. Sometimes we went to some of the manufacturing people, when we talked to some of manufacturing people. In fact, that time maybe they thought about that 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Right.
But during that time, they just don't have that kind of what they call facility, or they don't have kind of technology that able to bring them closer to what they can use. So that's why right now is a good time for you to do some refresh. So with all the community come along, then this part I think will be able to transform.
I think one of the challenges that I saw when I was attending some of the exhibition related to robotics, and people from the manufacturing coming to ask about how much is this unit that to do delivery from point A to point B. I mean the price point of this first product for them to adopt is probably too high for small medium enterprises, right? And they need something they can try it out and see whether they want to have a different feature. I think affordability is one, and also in terms of how flexible can the off-the-shelf robot solution can be customized to their requirement, because every company has different requirement. Having a platform that are scalable, having a platform that can be flexible in terms of customization, and you can actually get a prototype done with a basic kit, and then see what kind of solution you want. I mean, and we need to allow this. I will use the word customer-centric development and customer-defined development. Because if we just rely on company like the robotic company to build something that we think that customer want, that should not be the way to it. I think the best is to get the user who's looking for this solution to come and collaborate with the the product company that build on robotics and AI and IoT, for example, collaborate together to build a solution for you, for the customer, right? For the small and medium enterprise. I think that's the way to go. I mean, that's what we believe.
So Yeah, that is a very interesting Sembang today. It's worth traveling here and talk.
Thank you.
So I think, of course, we will have more a place where we can collaborate, especially in terms of bringing IoT, AI, or AMR, or towards some spatial application. This is the thing that we are eyeing for. At the same time, also, we would like to take this opportunity to share with some audience, So I hope that will inspire you in want to
Maybe
do
I can
something.
steal some Sembang from you. So since we're going to be on the air now, right?
Yeah.
So last year we piloted the RoboFun, Roboton program in terms of teach you about robotics, AMR, and then get you to build something. And guess what? We come into the second year program this year. So wait for our kind of a launch or announcements. And take the opportunity to give the challenges to the program and then to the students, and let's see what the student in our local university able to build the solution for you, and then maybe the SME will be interested to collaborate and say, hey, I'm looking for this solution, can you build it for me? Maybe so stay tuned for our announcement, right, for RoboFun Roboton 2024. All right.
So, okay. So we want to end this one with you saying this, the first thing that you say, Sembang, bukan Sembang. Yeah.
So I will change it a bit. So this is bukan Sembang Kari, it's a Sembang IoT.
Okay, of course, with this AMR, with this IoT, AI, I hope you enjoy. And then we catch you another time. Yeah, in
Thank
the
you.
next session. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.